Hey guys, what's up? So I haven't really been making videos lately. There's just been things that have been going on that I just don't feel like it, but I don't really feel like I'm doing much of anything unless I have like an inspired thought to do it. Because I've realized that I'm very like miserable when I push myself to do things that I thought maybe I wanted to do, but I didn't. Like, it's not that I was getting miserable doing videos, but it was like I was thinking to myself, okay, like what am I smart about that I can talk about on that? And it's like I'm very smart, but then when it comes to thinking about what to talk about, it's like then I don't feel smart because I don't know what to talk about. No, I don't mean it like that. But so I was like, okay, well from now on I'm only gonna do things unless I feel inspired to do them. So here we are. Lately or recently, you know, us as human beings are brought up to not have emotions, right? Like we're brought up to not feel emotions, especially guys. Um, this video is like about the essence of men, but I'm obviously gonna do women too because I just should. So, what I've come to the realization of, and I've heard, and I thought I've done it, and I've been like, okay, like, yeah, but like this time is completely different than any other time. So I realized that sometimes, and not just with this, but because it's about, whatever, I'm going to use this. Sometimes, they say the heart wants what it wants, right? You can hate yourself for loving somebody. You can be mad at yourself for loving somebody. You can deny all you want to yourself that you don't love somebody, and it's like, but at the end of the day, like, you're fucking obsessive, not obsessively, well, I mean, people could be, but you're like see, I don't want to make it sound like that. I'm like infatuated obsessively, but I don't mean like that. Like, you're just like extremely like in love with them, and you're just like, nope, 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 I'm not, nope, nope, and like you get mad at yourself, you know what I mean? Like, I know I'm not the only person that has ever done this, because I bet the other person that is the same exact way. And it's like, there's just something about not wanting to admit our feelings to ourselves. Okay. I've been like on and off with my being a bitch, being miserable, being irritated, being so happy, being fun, being playful, to, back to miserable, being upset, like snippy, or like, I mean like snappy, like all of a sudden, can go to like 0 to like 1,000 in like a second, just snap at somebody. And I'm so sick of doing that. I'm so sick of it. And it's like, I've come to realize it's because I'm literally not letting myself be who I am. Like, I'm not accepting myself for who I am. I'm not letting myself be who I am. I'm not just letting myself be me, the true essence of myself. And it's a lot to do with, thinking I'm not allowed to do this or feel this way or this and that and the other. And it's like, but you're denying yourself of you. Like, you're abandoning yourself of being yourself. Think about that. That's not loving yourself. That's judging yourself. That's resenting yourself. That's neglecting yourself of your needs and your emotions. And, it's like numbing. And it's like, no, like, okay, I love you. I don't want to love you, but I do. Like, fuck it. You know what I mean? And it's like, then you ask yourself, well, why don't you want to love this person? Well, because they don't love me back. Well, okay. It doesn't even need to be they don't love you back. It could just be like, we fight all the time. I don't, we're not this, we're not that, blah, blah, blah. Okay. But it's like, we need to stop judging ourselves on our own feelings, because then we're judging ourselves, right? And then we're gonna just attract people that are gonna judge us, especially for how we feel, because that's what we're judging ourselves for. So it's like, I've just come to the realization, I said this, like, I've thought I've already done it a million times, and I'm just like, whatever, I'm just going to accept the fact that I love him, or whatever, I'm just going to accept the fact that I feel like this about whatever. And it's like, I haven't done it. Like, I thought I did, or I did for like a day, and then I'm like mad about it again. But I think I've just came to this point and realization of the fact that if I love myself and I love who I am and I love everything about me, flaws and all, then I have to still love and accept and embrace how I feel and not judge myself or get mad at myself for it. So recently, I go back and forth with this person and I'm like, I don't want to talk to you. I love you. I don't want you near me. I'm never talking to you again, but I still love you. Like, goes back and forth, right? And it's like, I'm just making myself miserable. Like, I really am. And then I also came to thought, you don't have to have this person just completely not in your life just because you feel like you either have to love them or you can't love them or this or that, the other. And it's like my situation with this specific person, like, it's confusing because in the beginning, when we first met, I wasn't told we were in a committed relationship, right? So then it came out to be that, like, they thought we were, or whatever. And then when I realized that, then I tried to initiate being in a committed relationship with them because I thought that's what they wanted, And then almost 2 years later, everything's a mess. But it's like, that's where the whole push and pull of I can either talk to them or I can't talk to them came from. You know what I mean? Because it was like in my head from the beginning of time, of like the whole start of push and pull between, okay, well, I either have to be with them or I don't have to be with them. I have to be with them and love them, or I'm not going to love them and I'm not going to be with them and I'm going to walk away, right? Why does it have to be like that? Why does it have to be like that? Why? I don't know. I think that if things went a different way, I would have never thought of that. You know what I mean? But things are supposed to happen for a reason. And I don't know if people know the whole twin flame dynamic. And I'm not going to go through it. But when you meet somebody, the way I met this person, and you go through the things you go through, the things that I've went through with this person, okay? You just know. Like, there can be false twins, there can be imitating twins, like energy twins, like whatever, and then you have like your twin, when it's your twin when you meet. First, like when you're like ready, like when you kind of like say to yourself, okay, like I want to meet my true love, or if you know about the twin flame thing and you think you are, or you believe you are, or whatever, and then you're like, okay, I'm ready to meet my twin. Are you? Are you? No, I don't think you are. I mean, you could be, but it's really not that easy. But it's like, you meet them, it's like the most craziest, like, intimate, like, oh my God, what the fuck is going on? Strong feelings. And then because of that, you're scared. And you self-sabotage it. Usually the feminine does this. And it doesn't have to be the girl. It can be whoever has most femininity in them, the most feminine energy within them. In my case, obviously, I am the feminine, which is weird because I kind of had to learn how to be feminine because I've been the single mother for 12 years, and I don't know, I feel like also, like, if you've never had like an actual loving relationship, like, you can either be, and again, this is where it comes to, you can't have feelings, right? Now I don't look at it like this, but I did look at it as, okay, like, if the more feminine you are, the more of a pussy you are. So I grew up thinking that I had to be like tough, and I had to be hard, and I had to be, this, that, and the other, and I wasn't allowed to have feelings, and I wasn't allowed to love, or no, that's not true, because I'm a fucking person that loves hard when they love, but I also didn't know what true love felt like until I felt like that about somebody. And it's like, I thought I did. No. So you meet your twin, you realize what true love feels like. But you don't, like, you do, but you don't. Like, you do, but you either don't know how to let yourself, you don't know how to accept it, you don't even know what is going on. You're oblivious to somebody truly loving you because you don't know what it's like. You don't, if anything, you're just like freaking out, kind of like, what the fuck is going on? Like, or you literally just don't even know what's going on at all because you're not used to anybody doing that. Okay. There's a lot of concepts to my relationship that happened in the beginning that I never remembered. It's not because I don't care about the person. It's not because of that. It's just like it didn't click. It didn't click of what was going on because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know that this person felt like this about me. I didn't know that this is what it meant to feel, And at the same time, I didn't feel, So it's kind of like this person was loving me from afar, but I was right in front of their face. Like, it's weird. Anyways, the accepting of the feelings, okay? I don't even remember where I was to be able to even, go into this. Twin flame. Hold on, I actually am. I was watching this over, and in the beginning, I'm going to put this before. This goes into the next one. When it starts talking about the archangel thing, and the archangel Daniel, okay, so I start telling it how, I wasn't self-caring about myself, I wasn't this or that. You go through the reading, right? And eventually it gets to Archangel Bethany, and she's all about self-care. And my name is Bethany, and his is Danny, and it's like marriage, Danny. And then in between is about, our mission is about animals and children. And like I said, I also say about how we were going to have a baby just because. Doesn't make sense. So the whole reading is about animals, children, marriage, this and that, the other. And we were already going to do that, out of knowing each other for a day. It was already set in stone. Didn't happen, which I say it's good, but it's not. It's good because we had to grow from each other in the twin flame journey and do all that to be the people that we're supposed to be to do that mission. If we would have done it and had a baby and this and that, it would have been so bad. But when twin flames don't usually have babies, but when they do, it's called a rainbow baby. That's besides the point. When they have a baby, depending on when they have the baby is there to help them with their karmic debts, with their karmic traits, with their karmic cycles, that's what it is. And he's stuck in a cycle. I am too, but I got myself out of the cycle just because I was just finally surrendered. I'm like, you know what, I accept my feelings for you. I love you to death. I'm totally in love with you, and I want to be with you, but I'm not going to tell you that to your face. And I don't think he watches these, but it doesn't matter. The point is that it was literally Archangel Daniel, marriage. In between, we have something to do with animals. After that, Bethany needs self-love. And then after that, it's all these other things. And when it talks about the clinginess, I think it's more codependent. But like I said, you don't want to be codependent on another person's, on your happiness, on your fulfillment, because then if they don't work out or they don't give it to you, then, and it's not even really their fault because you're depending on them to give it to you, and you can't do that to a person. So it's not really clingy. Oh, 1010, it's talking about, 1010, that's the number for twin flames. Wow, that's confirmation though. And it says Jeremy Epkin. Wow. Jeremy. It's fucked. He messaged me on an account, and his name is Jeremy. I love it. Anyways, I'm waiting for the hummingbird to come up. But and it just says ocean on my thing, and it's an ocean. Anyways, so yeah, it's more about the codependent thing. And I don't like doing that because I'm more independent. I don't really rely on people. But like I said, when you're the runner, when you're the chaser, you look like you are. And it's not even that. You're just kind of like, let me love you. Like, let me love you. Like, love me like you used to. So it looks like it, but it's not. I just wanted to add that because I didn't finish why I even brought up that thing. But there's 2 different readings, and they're like the same exact thing. But like, there's the damn Daniel one, and then there's like, I don't know. I don't even think I named it. I think I was just like, oh, it's funny too. I think I was literally just like, just another reading. But they're both pretty much the same exact thing. That reading wasn't even supposed to be what it was, but because it was the Bethany and Daniel thing, I was just like, you know what? Just doing it as a relationship. And it was like the same thing. Animals, children, blah, 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 blah. Okay, here you go. Bye, guys. Okay, so my point was, when you meet your twin flame, when you go through a complete spiritual awakening. Like, spiritual awakenings are, in my opinion, to make it easy, you are enlightened, or you're to the enlightenment or whatever of things that you didn't know. Like, and I don't mean like, oh, you're learning something new. Like, I mean like, there's things you didn't know that are actually in the universe that are, like angels, or, out of the matrix, like out of the 3D world, out of the material world, and more into a spiritual world, closer to the universe, God, source, yourself, higher self, whatever you want to call it, just closer to love. It's kind of like what I call a spiritual awakening. So when you meet your twin, it's instant activation of, okay, here we go. This is your journey. Ready? Let's go. How are you going to handle it? Okay. There was a certain point where if you've been in relationships before that have been like bad or whatever, like you subconsciously pick up all these limited beliefs or habits or childhood ways of how you taught yourself how to survive, especially in not committed, in emotional experiences. So you feel safe and you don't get hurt. And a lot of it is, doubting yourself, you self-sabotage. Abandonment, you abandon that person before you get abandoned, so you hurt that person before you do, again, self-sabotage. Trust issues, like this person could have never done something, but you automatically have trust issues. And it doesn't even need to be like, oh my God, like, are they doing this? Are they doing that? It can simply be like, you don't trust their intentions. You don't trust their heart of what they're really telling you because you've been lied to so many other times, or take advantage of, or automatically think they're a narcissist, or, you don't trust the situation. You don't trust that they're being real about what they're saying. You don't trust it. Okay. And then, or you can just completely attach yourselves to them and get wicked clingy out of anxiety. There's so many different things that you can do from our childhood growing up in this, that, and the other thing. So there was a specific time when I was talking to him, and like he was holding me in his arms, and we were talking about something, and I told him, I was like, I'm gonna scare you, or I'm gonna scare you off, or something like that. And he's like, what do you mean? And I was like, well, because when I love somebody, I'm too intense and they run away. You know what I mean? Like, they can't handle it. And he's like, I love this story because he's like, well, I'm a man, I can handle it, or something like that. And here we are. I think he's more scared than I am. It's more like, okay, the feminine, like the one that runs after them, the chaser. And I hate being called that because it's like, I don't like that. I don't like being the chaser. But in actuality, they're running because of how fucking much they love you, and they don't want to love you because it's too much for them, and they've never felt like that for anybody before. So actually being the chaser is actually being the runner in a way, because they're trying to not catch feelings or kind of like whatever. So it's like, it's actually kind of like, yeah, you might look like a fucking idiot, especially when you're somebody like me that will not do something like that. Like, I will not show stalker like attitude or characteristics, traits. I will not show clinginess. I will not, whatever. And I'm not that type of person. But the clinginess can kind of look like somebody I am, but it's more abandonment issues than me needing to like that. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm not clingy. But like I said, I can come off clingy, and especially as a runner, a chaser, you look clingy. Like, you're like, no, like, and you run after them, and they just keep denying you and denying you and denying you. So the feminine is more about abandonment issues. The masculine is more about insecurities, ego, pride, fear of all that. Okay. So they actually are too obsessed with you and too in love with you, so they run because they're scared of their own feelings. So twin flame dynamic, I think we're a twin ray, but regardless, it doesn't matter. Because this isn't supposed to be a twin flame thing, but I'm trying to explain. I don't even know why I did, but I'd have to rewatch the video after I did it twice to understand why I got into this part. I have a twin flame dog too. He's my Danny dog, which is really messed up because even when you have a twin, you question it. You're like, are they my twin? Are they my twin? Are they my karmic? Are they? And it's like, you might have so many freaking, that's where I was going with it. You might have so many freaking like signs. Like, when I paused this video, or when I stopped it to go redo it, I looked up at the TV, and I always say that, and I've told him this too, every time I see a hummingbird, it's like a sign. Like, it confirms, you know what I mean? And even the first night that I spent with him, like, there were so many signs. And I don't know if that was after or before this happened. I think it was before. But I always said to him, like, if I see hummingbirds, like, I looked up after this and there was a hummingbird on my freaking screen. I have 2 other videos, okay? One of them is literally called Damn Daniel, okay? His name is Danny. I'm assuming it's Daniel, but I don't really know. He doesn't like being called Daniel. And that's another thing, like, my name is Bethany, and I don't like being called Beth, all right? In those videos, he gave me a dog. It's like our baby, okay? He gave me a dog, and when we first met, like, out of nowhere, we were just like, okay, let's have a baby. Who does that? Okay, I don't know you at all, but let's start a family. Okay, let's do it. I'm on board. Like, okay, I don't know you at all, and I'm glad that we didn't have a baby because we did not know each other at all. But it's like, okay. So it's like, the whole entire video is the angel of marriage, which is Archangel Daniel, right? And then, like, recently I had told him, I was like, I'm not taking care of myself. I'm not self-loving myself. I can't talk to you. Again, I can't talk to you. Also because I need to pay attention to myself. And I don't even know if he was talking to me then, or if I just, like, said it. I don't remember. Probably wasn't talking, because we haven't talked since, like, I don't even know, November. Yeah. And that's another thing. video is going to be different than I thought. But it's going to get to the point. See, now Danny, that's my freaking maintenance man. Yeah. And then I was listening to freaking Jammin' 94.5 or something on the way to drop my son off at school. And it was one of those like, oh, this person doesn't understand why you're not calling them back, and the person's name was Daniel. It's like it's his name, it's all around me. And that's the twin flame thing. It's also law of attraction, but it's because law of attraction is pretty much like what you think about the most is like what appears. So it's like, also, if you want the twin flame journey to work, you have to be positive to think it's going to work out and give it away and let the universe take care of it, which is kind of also what this video is supposed to be about. And it will. But I don't know where I was again. Hummingbird. Yep. Forgot again. Oh. So you have like our whole entire story in that video. It's like trust, denial, forgiveness, because there needs to be forgiveness in the relationship, you know what I mean? Oh my God. I think I've came to a point of forgiveness because I accepted my feelings, because I was like, you know what, like, I love you. I'd rather just forgive you and put this whole thing in the past, because that's where it belongs, because that's where it came from, and just move forward together, right? So it's kind of like that. I'm just kind of like over it. Obviously, a lot of shit happened between us that hurt both of us on each other's sides. Like, I've hurt him really bad, especially going back and forth, confusing him, giving him mixed signals. And he's kind of done the same thing, but he's done different things. Regardless, we both hurt each other really bad. Especially when you're twin flames, because it stabs you and it hurts you in a different way, because a twin flame is you looking at yourself. And that's what scared me that day when I was talking to him. I looked at him after he said, well, I'm a man, like, I can take it, like, or I'm not a boy or something like that. And I looked at him and I'm like, wait, hold on. Like, I'm looking at him and I'm like, you didn't see me doing it. I wasn't literally like looking at him like, wait, like, just like how it was. I was like, oh my God, oh my God. And then I was like, fuck. And I was like, okay, I'm not ready for this, because a twin flame journey is a inward journey. It's facing yourself. It's facing all your fears. It's facing all your insecurities. It's facing yourself. That person is supposed to trigger the fuck out of you for you to heal and bring up your fears and abandonment issues and trust issues and all that stuff. You're technically supposed to learn how to love yourself, because your twin is you. So you have to love all of yourself first before you can attract them to love you as well, because they're you. You get what I mean? So you're like literally looking at yourself, like mirroring yourself. So when I get scared of him leaving, he gets scared of me leaving. When I run away, he runs away. But it can look totally different on the surface than how you're both feeling. But like I said, the twin flame journey is about not finding yourself, but it's finding yourself within yourself, like not within you two. Like you both have to be complete in your separate bodies for your one soul to come together, because you're one soul, one consciousness in two different bodies of consciousness. So your whole life, you know, you feel misunderstood, you feel all these different things because you don't have like your other half, kind of. You don't have like your full entire soul. It's like half somewhere else in the world. And when you find it, you find it. But then you have to face it. And everything in life is a journey of emotions. Twin flame journey is emotions. That's all it is. Because if your emotions are what manifest, so our fears manifest differently than our desires, because our fears, we believe, are going to happen. And law of attraction will bring you what you believe in. So if you don't believe or you doubt that you're ever going to be able to be with this person, you kind of like just give up or whatever. But the more you believe that it's never going to happen, the more indebted it's going to be, and the more core of a belief and more what's the word, what's the word? Dominant. The more dominant thought that you have over and over and over, which is also an addiction. Like it's an addictive like thought. Like you can't stop. It's a habit. You know what I mean? It becomes an addiction. And negative thoughts like that feel painful, right? But they're natural to human beings more because we're used to expecting the worst. We're used to having those negative feelings over positive feelings, especially when you grow up having not much positivity in your life. We don't know this as kids, but we're attracting everything that we think. So if we have a narcissistical parent and they're not fully developed as a person, that's what we believe to be. And that's how we, if we perceive them, everything's about perspective. Everything. Because that's how you think and that's how you feel and that's what manifests. So it's like if you already feel like you were never loved as a kid, how do you expect growing up believing that you'll be loved or even know what it looks like or feels like, right? And your twin will show you that because they force you to look at yourself, heal from all that, see where it stems, change your beliefs, change your programming, change everything that you thought was who you thought you were into your truest form of pure love. Okay? Twin flames are very, very, very powerful. Very powerful. And that's why they're split. This is like Greek mythology or whatever, but there's so many people in the twin flame community. Like if you look it up, it's a lot. And I've actually had a lot of people, and I've done therapy for it, like counseling to help other people, but now it would be completely different. Like, oh my God, I could help so many people. Because it's so, and I know so much therapy. I did so much child trauma work in therapy, not only on myself, but my kid. Like we had to go for the family, whatever. So recently, like I said, okay. So it's your twin flame when you start seeing yourself heal. You start seeing yourself go within. You start seeing yourself do all this stuff and you grow as a person. Yo, this kid, all he did was not talk to me. That's all he did. And I grew. I don't even know. But like this is a thing. As a feminine, you exchange energies, right? So he's very masculine. He's hardworking, very goal-oriented, authority. He got that, okay? I have to be submissive to that because I don't let anybody have authority over me. But he can have it. But that's the thing, like you equal give and take. Like you can't also come together unless your divine masculine and your divine feminine energies are balance within yourself. Everything is balance. Everything is perspective, balance, your beliefs, your feelings, everything. It's what it is. It's literally what it is. You have to have balance in like every part of your life, like family life, hobbies, like work, like everywhere. It has to be balanced. You can't put too much into something else and expect something to, and that's what has to do with a lot of the chaser and runner energy, because the chaser energy will put all their energy into it, right? And the runner will put nothing. They're actually running away from that kind of energy. So that's where you have to balance it or give nothing if they're not giving anything, But energetically, you both are putting in a lot. Physically, in the material world, might not look like that. So when I would listen to things and it's like, oh, you guys are doing really good in your give and take, I'm like, I'm the one trying to talk to him and see him and he's not even answering me. How the fuck is that true? Energetically, you're both doing it. You know what I mean? And that's how you can't stop talking and thinking of them because they're doing the same exact thing. But you have to give your energy to them as a feminine, because the feminine knows. And they kind of like teach the masculine. But if you start healing, they kind of have no choice to start healing and going within. Or they'll come to a certain point where they realize it. Whatever. I'm just going to add this in real quick. I had a really, really bad relationship with my son's father. And it makes you grow into a lot of negative, toxic behaviors and beliefs that you bring into every relationship going forward, unless you heal it, realize it, change it, reprogram yourself. Everything that you have been taught, you pretty much have to relearn. Like, you have to erase everything and be like, oh, okay. So, like, it's like everything you say, you have to think about it and be like, wait, is that true? Is that helping me at all in life grow, or is it just limiting me from not being able to grow, right? And then after that, I had another relationship that was just a friendship, but it still affected those negative programming still. And then I met a twin, and I grew fucking phenomenally and a lot. And from him, okay, so this is the thing. I had all my shit together before I met him. My ex would come in and out of the picture because he was a drug addict, or he's a drug addict. He's still doing drugs. Legally, illegally, but definitely legally doing drugs from Big Pharma. Anyways, so, and I know his tactics. It's funny. It is funny actually. But anyways, like his family didn't, and I asked them something and they're like, oh yeah, he just did that the other day, like with a doctor. And I'm like, I bet he did. So anyways, you know, I don't remember. Oh yeah, so your twin, you know, they help you learn to love yourself, right? Because they treat you like shit, pretty much triggering all that shit, and then whatever. And that's where people come into the whole twin flame dynamic as, oh my God, that's my twin flame because they're treating me like shit and there's so much chaos. No, sweetheart. That's you still giving into the karmic cycle, which is supposed to help you change into getting out of those toxic cycles and realizing that that's not for you. So, anyways, I realized that in all my relationships, I carried the same thing, which was like to still have a good relationship with these people, even though like they did me so dirty, right? So I was still helping my son's father try to have a relationship with his kid, trying to have him have a relationship with his kid. He told me he was going to bring me to court. Yo, I have full custody. DCF has been in our lives mainly because of him. Because of it. And I have DCF on my side that even said, like, if he ever tries anything, we will be there. He doesn't have a job, so even if he puts in his smallest claim, he wouldn't be able to pay for it. He has a 14-page front and back record. He has 2 felonies. Like, he's still getting hot. Like, he's got no, like, chance. And our kid is old enough where he can speak for himself. And by the time he would even have money, if ever, enough to put in a claim, he'd be like in high school. He's 12 right now. He's almost 13. Soon he'll be 13. So it's like, go ahead. Please bring me to court. So I'm texting him and I'm saying pretty much everything nicely, respectfully, not yelling. Only time I yelled, and I literally said in the text, I'm like, this is the only time I'm going to insult you and threaten you. I was like, don't fucking talk about my mother ever. And it had something to do with that. Everything that I put in there, I was like, go ahead, please bring me to court. Like, he's like, oh, I'm going to bring all this. Please do. Besides the point, recently I changed all my phone numbers. Any kind of contact with his family, and then the other person after that. Because I realized you're literally bringing all of that into your new relationship. So you need to stop doing that. Once I did that, I feel completely different as a person because I don't have those energies attached to me, and I don't have those energies within me, and I don't have those energies around me. Like, that all cleared. So now I can see things in a completely different light. Completely. For the truth. Like, the veil has been lifted in so many different ways. So that's where I came to the part as I can accept my feelings because I all those two relationships before my twin put me in a different mindset. And once those mindsets were changed because they were gone, it's crazy. It really is. So I felt like myself. I've been doing things that I used to do that I stopped doing. I literally, yesterday we had a snowstorm, or snow, or whatever, and there was slush everywhere. And I always play with the kids. So the kids, like, banged on my window and whatever. And I was like, I'm going to come play. And they're like, okay. But this whole him, she, her, they, them, like, eventually I was just like, you know what, you guys go play. And I was outside by myself. And I started, like, playing in the snow. And then all of a sudden I started, like, doing ballet and tap. And people were watching. I have people watching me regardless. But people were watching. Like, I didn't care. Like, I was having fun. I was in my own little world. Like, it was awesome. Like, I did not fucking care at all. It was like, you know when they say, like, dance like nobody's looking? That's literally what it was. And people were driving by. I wouldn't stop. I just kept going. Like, I just kept dancing. I didn't care. I didn't care if I messed up. I didn't care if I fell, which I don't usually anyways, and I was really freaking good. I probably did it for like an hour and a half. I was doing other things too in the snow, but like by myself. Mind you, not even with my kid, by myself. And I'm like that all the time. When it snows, well, more when it rains. But yesterday was fucking awesome. I'm so sore now, but it was so worth it. So worth it. Anyways, my point is that I'm gonna probably have to do another video. My point is of what I really want to talk about. My point is that I was able to accept my feelings because I was also able to finally accept who I was. I was finally able to be who I am. It was like that skin of who I thought I was or who I thought I was supposed to be was gone. And it was more like the skin of this is who I'm supposed to be because these are how people expect me to be. You know, like my ex, he expected me to fight back. I'm not that person anymore. You know what I mean? The other person, he was having problems and all of a sudden he just randomly thought that it was okay to just expect that I was going to help him and be there for him. And it's like, dude, no, we don't play that game anymore. And it was like, but I accept being able to give that to my twin. No matter what. I'm always with him. He's always with me regardless because we are one soul. So it's like, that's the dynamic in the twin flame relationship, is that you feel like you're separated, but you're really not. So that makes it even worse of being able to come together because all you do is think about the separation. You think about the loss of each other. You don't think about the abundance of the fact that, hey, I'm in love with this person and they're always with me, no matter what. And energetically, they're with you, like, in so many different ways because you can literally do anything you want in order for it to affect them. So if you want to think negative, they're going to think negative. If you want to have this faith and trust and belief, it's like they will have that. And it will bring you guys together more. It's not easy. When the feminine moves more towards source, towards God, towards love, just love in general, loving yourself, that's when the masculine more comes towards you, forth. And it's so crazy because I've done things and I've listened to things and it's like, oh, like, you know, the masculine has something to say. And it was literally like divine feminine, like, it sounds funny. Divine feminine, like, just walk towards the divine, walk towards the divine, walk towards the divine. And I wasn't where I am now, where I can be like, okay, sweetheart, I will walk towards the divine, you know? Surrender is the main purpose kind of thing of a twin flame journey as well, because you're surrendering yourself to the universe to fix all the mistakes that have happened that you cannot. We've gotten to a point where it's just like, it seems like there's no coming back from this, but obviously there always is. But we when I just accepted it, it's like I'm abandoning myself of being who I am. And as soon as I accepted it, I stopped abandoning myself of who I was. And that's how I was able to go out into my huge ass parking lot with with 300 people that live in my complex and just dance. Do leaps, do spins, pirouettes, tap dancing. Like, I didn't care. I even wrote something in the snow, and people would usually like use their heel and write it. And when people would drive by me, like even if they drove in their parking spot and I was right there, I didn't care. I kept going. But I didn't do it in like a heel way. I literally did it in like a dancing way. But like I still made the letters. Fuck it. That's who I am. And I enjoyed every fucking second of it. And it was all because I let go of those energies of feeling abandoned to myself. So it's abandoning who I was and what I loved, and that's the whole thing. I was abandoning what I loved, which is this person. So I was abandoning him because I was abandoning the feelings of what I felt for him. Isn't that crazy? But that wasn't the point of this video. But I guess this is a video within itself. So I'm actually going to stop here, and then I'm just going to like keep going. So it's not like a fucking 2-hour video. Because some people just don't want to watch 2-hour videos, and I didn't get to the point of what I was trying to say at all. And I'd rather people listen to that than this, and not in that way. But, you know, this kind of helps with just explaining like the fact that like if we just don't judge ourselves and try to like deny ourselves of how we really feel, even if this person, even if 9:55 31:13 and I saw 13:13 earlier, even if 22, even if I had to admit to myself that somebody was treating me like shit and I wanted to ignore it, that's also ignoring myself. If I wanted to deny anything that was the truth that was going around me, it's denying myself. I wanted to tell myself that somebody was the one, but I knew they weren't, or I knew that they hurt me, or like my ex, a toxic. I thought he was the one, totally lying to myself. Subconsciously, I knew. But you don't want to admit it. Especially when you don't want to move on because you're scared to. Especially when they put you down so much that you don't think you're worthy of anything better. And that's how you grew up, you know? So I'm going to end this here, and then I'm going to continue what I meant to do this fucking video about in the first place. So I hope this helped in some way. I mean, it can. I mean, it's not what I wanted to talk about, but it still can. But, all right. I hope you guys have a good day. Bye.